So over the past couple of weeks, Jodie and I have been experimenting with my hair. And what happened was I've been dyeing my hair for many, many years, very dark colour. And then I decided one day, I don't want to do this anymore and I want to go back to my natural hair colour, maybe have some highlights. So I started to grow my hair out, and the more obvious the regrowth became, I didn't feel very good about it at all. So we decided to go to the hairdresser and see what could be done about it. She said that we could strip the hair and it would cost about $300 New Zealand, and that would be just to strip the hair, so that's not including recolouring it or putting highlights or whatever. So another option that I thought would be just to get highlights through my hair, so start from the top where the regrowth was and just strip small sections of where the dye was, so just get highlights through the whole thing. Then I sort of thought, well, that might look a bit silly because the line from where the natural hair colour was to where the dye was quite prominent. I came across a product online called My Hairdresser, and it naturally, it lightens your hair without removing the pigment from your own hair, so it only lightens the dye, I guess you could say. So I sort of had a look at it and I realised that you couldn't find it in New Zealand, you had to order it. Then I was in the chemist one day and I saw it and I thought, oh my god. So gave it a go on my sister first, and she had pretty good results, so I thought, well, let's give it a try. So then I thought, if we used My Hairdresser, that perhaps even if it didn't remove all the dye, that it would create more of a gradient and it would fade. So it would, once I got highlights through it, then it would be a lot less obvious and I'd be able to grow it out easier without having to strip it. So we gave it a go. So here's the product here, and it doesn't contain any bleach, which is, bonus. And so you just mix part A with part B. One of them smells really nice, the other one not so much. So here it is going in, and as you can see, the consistency of it is sort of quite thin. It's not as thick as, say, a hair dye. So we just used the brush and the bowl set that you can buy with the kit. It's quite good. I'd probably recommend using it because the consistency is so thin, unless you had like an applicator bottle, it would be quite hard to apply. So here you can see Jodie's twisting the hair, and that's a little tip that I learned from my hairdresser when I used to get my hair dyed with them. They sort of twist it, and what it does is it makes sure that every strand is coated with the mixture. So it's a really good idea if you're going to be dyeing your hair at home or if you're going to use this product. So here you can see I look extremely attractive wrapping my hair in cling film or glad wrap. And they do suggest to do this, My Hairdresser does, and I think it's because obviously the product is heat activated. So what we did as well is we also put a warm towel over the glad wrap just to really seal in that heat. This is the hair after one application.
So, okay.
And I think because my hair's been dyed so many times, like when I would re-dye my roots, I would re-dye the whole hair, that it's got such a build up on the ends. So I think we're going to have to do another one or two another applications.
It definitely looks like not as light as it was before, like the transition through. It's still dark on the ends. Like if you do like you did where you put the end near your roots before,
It will still be dark.
It will still be like it's still dark. But it's but I can see where it's redder.
So after the second treatment, we thought it had done a little bit. There was a bit of a change, and we thought we'd do it a third time. The reason we thought we would do it a third time was because we read on a forum a hairdresser had posted and said that you can do the treatment up to 3 times. So we thought we've already done it twice, we may as well do it a third time. And I did feel as though it had made a difference, but I really wanted to do it the maximum amount of times to see how intense the difference would be.
Compared to the top, it's too dark.
Yeah.
It's like it's lightening the top better than the bottom.
This part?
Yes.
Yeah, well, because that's coated down the bottom.
Oh, okay.
You know, like every time you dry your hair, you do it over the whole thing.
Okay.
Over the whole thing. So the results after the third treatment we thought were really good. We're really happy with them. And what I think actually happened is, if you can see here, that the top part of the hair was good. There was a good transition there. It had lightened it. It was very sort of a red chestnutty brown. And the bottom of the tips of the hair were very light. And I think the reason that the tips of the hair were very light is because it's probably where my hair is the driest, and potentially I have split ends. And I think that perhaps the dye didn't hold on to the hair as well, so that's why it got lifted out of the tips. So now we're going to show you a shot of my hair a week or so after the treatment. I do think that it has darkened quite significantly, and as our friend told us, who's a hairdresser, it's because the product is quite temperamental and it can oxidize after you have actually done treatment. So I'm really happy with the fact that the transition between my natural hair and my dyed part of my hair is much less. So now I feel I can go and get highlights, because I feel like the line between my natural hair colour and my dyed hair colour is much softer, so it's got a nice transition and fade through there, and it will look really good with highlights, and I can grow it out. One thing I will say about the product is that my hair felt really healthy after the treatment. It actually felt better than what it did before I had the treatment, so I don't think it's damaging whatsoever on your hair.